Konnichiwa, minasan. Welcome to this week's video. We're continuing with our family reunion topic for just a little bit longer. Now that we've got the chit-chat type conversation making out of the way, we're going to be starting to talk about, we're merging with our textbook, and we're going to be talking about telling time. Why is time related to family reunions? So that we can tell our friends that want to do more fun things than family reunions that we can't because we have this family thing that we have to go to at such and such a time. This is going to come from our textbook, which is Obento Supreme, not Deluxe. I didn't change that over there. You can use the website listed on the page to access more student resources for Obento Supreme. You can't click on it in the video, but you can write it down and go to it. Starting with some vocabulary. Telling time. Nanji. Nanji. This is kanji we're going to learn. That's why it's red. Nanji. Itsu. Itsu. These questions are kind of asking the same thing. Nanji is a little bit more specific than itsu. Itsu could refer to a day, whereas nanji is only asking about the time. Gozen. Gozen is before noon. The go here means noon, and zen is the kanji for before. It's the same kanji that's in namae. It's the mae of namae. Go. Go. The second go is also the kanji for ato, and the first one is still noon. So after noon, PM. Han, another kanji we're going to be learning. Han, also known as 30 or half. It doesn't mean 30, it means half. Specifically half past. So niji han would be half past 2. Using the particle ni. In this instance, we're going to be using the particle ni as a companion with a precise or exact time. You don't use the particle ni for time when the time is relative, and I'll get more to that on the next page. But you use the particle ni to indicate a precise time that a thing happens at. More telling time. Kyo. Kyo wa 10月1日です。10月1日です。明日は10月2日です。あさっては10月3日です。Because who doesn't want one word that tells you the word 2 days from now? It's just the most awesome thing ever. あさって 2 days from now. 今週 Shu is week, kon is now, so now week, this week, konshu. Raishu, the rai is the kuru of kimas, and come. Raishu is the coming week. Kongetsu, the getsu is the same as gatsu, because why not? Kongetsu is this month. This month, kongetsu. And using the same pattern, konshu this week, raishu next week, kongetsu this month, raigetsu next month. And these are all approximate or relative times. You do not use the particle ni with an approximate or relative time. They're relative because what next month is different every month, and what today is different every day. And so it's relative to your current position in time. It's a TARDIS. Hours and minutes. Pointo. In Japan, they use 24-hour time as well as AM and PM. This results in some cool things like manga cafe being open until like 26 o'clock instead of 2 a.m. or a late night anime or TV show airing at 25:30 instead of 1:30 in the morning, to make it seem like it's still happening the previous day. Because why not? I have this chart here of hours and minutes. A few things to note. 4 o'clock is not Yonji, it's Yoji. 9 o'clock isn't Kyuji, it's Kuji. Minutes are fun because it alternates between pun and fun in a seemingly random pattern that you will have to remember because this P and F pattern for numbers is very common in many different ways of counting things, like cats, for example. So 1分、2分、3分、4分、5分、6分、7分、8分、9分、10分. And you'll have to study that, and we'll work on it in class, but it is a thing that you will have to remember as a pattern if possible. See, if possible. F's and P's. Grammar. While we're looking at this, note the difference between what you use for precise time and what you use for relative or relative time. Nanji desu ka? Nanji desu ka? 11時24分です. Hour, then minute, です. いつですか? Itsu is asking a more generic question. So, 土曜日の11時25分です. Or just 10月1日です. It's not specifically asking what time it is, it's asking when is it? いつですか? 何時に blank ますか? When do you do X verb? 時にします. 何時に起きますか? 午前6時半に起きます. For example. いつしますか? いつ学校に行きますか? 月曜日、火曜日、水曜日、木曜日と金曜日に学校に行きます. Friday isn't relative. It happens every Friday. What Friday is doesn't change based on when you are, so it's not relative. Putting it together. There are going to be some questions on the Edpuzzle asking about what time it is, when things are happening, when you do things. Use these to review what you've learned in this video. If you need to go back and rewatch, you can always go back and rewatch. And once you've watched a section, you can skip through it again. So once you've watched the first minute or 2 minutes or whatever, you can then fast forward through that time. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to see if I can post a link to an Edpuzzle class that anyone can access. I don't know if it'll work, so that you also can get the experience of learning, if you are so inclined and aren't actually in my class. じゃあ、また月曜日に。